The Winans, known as the first family of contemporary black gospel, have transformed the music industry for decades. CeCe Winans stands among the most accomplished members of this musical dynasty with 7 Grammy Awards. A tough decision by CeCe Winans brought her brother Marvin, a respected pastor and fellow Grammy winner, to tears. Now, the big question is not just about what happened. It's about why it happened. The story we're about to unravel is one of resilience, faith, and family. Keep watching to have all your questions answered. Pastor Marvin Winans, the legendary 6-time Grammy winner and beloved leader of Detroit's Perfecting Church, opened up about his deeply personal and private battle with bladder cancer in July 2024. For someone known for inspiring millions through his music and ministry, this revelation added a layer of vulnerability and strength to his already remarkable story. It turns out that his health journey began quietly in 2022, a year that would mark the start of a tough yet triumphant chapter in his life. And isn't it something how life has a way of humbling even the strongest among us? Who would have imagined that someone so full of faith and energy would face such a daunting challenge? When Pastor Winans first heard the diagnosis, he was understandably shaken. During the examination, doctors found a concerning, cauliflower-like, mass in his bladder. Can you imagine how overwhelming it must have been to process that? The medical team quickly outlined a rigorous treatment plan involving Bacillus calmette-guerin, BCG, therapy, specialized immunotherapy designed for early-stage bladder cancer. The process wasn't a walk in the park by any means. It included 6 grueling weeks of BCG treatments, routine cystoscopy exams to monitor his progress, careful oversight of his kidney function, and additional follow-up treatments to ensure every possible base was covered. It's the kind of plan that demands not just physical strength but mental and emotional endurance too. CeCe Winans and Marvin Winans share an unbreakable bond forged through family, faith, and music. But recently, CeCe made a decision so difficult it brought Marvin to tears. What could have shaken their close relationship so deeply? Stick around, because the story behind CeCe's tough decision is as emotional as it is unexpected. You won't believe how it unfolded, and how Marvin responded to it all. Pastor Winans didn't face his health journey alone. His church community, family, and friends rallied around him like an unshakable fortress of support. The congregation at Perfecting Church proved just how deeply they loved and believed in their pastor, standing together in faith and prayer every step of the way. Isn't it beautiful to see a community come together like that? When Winans shared his gratitude with them, his words carried the weight of someone who had truly been uplifted by the prayers and kindness of those around him. "I appreciate all of the prayers and all of the support," he told them, his voice filled with emotion. But just as the storm seemed to pass, another unexpected challenge arose. In October 2024, during a service in Toledo, Ohio, the 66-year-old pastor suddenly collapsed, leaving everyone in attendance and across social media deeply concerned. Videos of the incident quickly made their rounds, sparking an outpouring of prayers and well wishes. It was later revealed that dehydration was the culprit. Isn't it ironic how someone who spends so much time pouring into others can sometimes forget to refill their own cup? Despite these hurdles, Pastor Winans didn't let his health challenges weaken his ministry. In fact, they seemed to give his message of faith even greater depth and resonance. People feel that if you're operating in your calling, then somehow you will be exempt from trouble, sickness, trial, he told his congregation during a heartfelt sermon. Nothing could be further from the truth. Those words, spoken from a place of experience, carried an authenticity that couldn't be ignored. And then came the miraculous news that had everyone celebrating. After months of intense treatment and prayer, his doctor delivered the words he had been hoping and praying for: the cancer was gone. The doctor looked at the monitor and said, "Oh my, it was gone," Winans shared with awe and gratitude. Isn't that just a testament to his unyielding spirit and the power of faith? Now, with his cancer battle behind him, Pastor Winans has returned to his ministry at Perfecting Church with a renewed sense of purpose. Though his schedule remains packed, he's been intentional about prioritizing his health, often reflecting on the importance of self-care. The name, Winans, is more than just a name, it's a legacy, a story of resilience, faith, and purpose that carries both privilege and an undeniable weight of responsibility. It all began with Louis Winans, a man whose journey was shaped by history's harshest realities. Louis was given the surname by his owner, and as a sharecropper, he worked tirelessly, building the foundation for a family legacy that, would become one of the most influential in gospel music and Christian ministry. But have you ever thought about what it means to carry a name that carries such weight? For the Winans family, it's not just about the fame or the accolades, it's about living up to something far greater than themselves. The Winans legacy spans 5 generations and over 200 years, and it's rooted not just in extraordinary musical talent but in an authentic, faith-driven lifestyle. It's not simply about singing gospel songs, it's about living a gospel life. And speaking of challenges, being a gospel artist isn't as simple as it looks from the outside. It's not just about hitting the right notes or writing the perfect lyrics. Gospel artists like the Winans face a unique kind of scrutiny, one that goes beyond the music and straight to the core of who they are as people. Fans and religious communities expect a lot from them. They are supposed to maintain a consistent spiritual image, uphold traditional values, have a solid understanding of theology, and somehow find a balance between artistic expression and ministry. Sounds like a lot, right? And it doesn't stop there. Critics argue that modern gospel music leans too heavily into performance and showbiz, losing some of its spiritual depth. "We want them to be perfect," is a sentiment often echoed by more traditional church members. But is perfection even a fair expectation? For the Winans, the pressure to meet these expectations isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. Each generation is tasked with upholding the family's high standards while also carving out their own identity. The Winans family's impact extends far beyond their music. Through humanitarian work and ministry, they've touched countless lives. From providing livestock and medicine to creating clean water solutions, their work goes beyond the stage and straight into the heart of communities in need. When it comes to gospel music, the Winans family is a pillar of faith and inspiration. But even within such a strong family, life can throw curveballs. CeCe Winans recently faced a decision so challenging, it left her brother Marvin Winans in tears. Stay with me as I unravel this emotional story and reveal how CeCe's choice touched Marvin in ways no one could have predicted. When faith meets family, family bonds are never truly tested until a crisis arises, right? That's when the real essence of connection either shines through or crumbles. And if you look at the Winans family, you'll see a story that beautifully illustrates how faith can weave through and strengthen family relationships, especially when life throws its biggest challenges their way. CeCe Winans, in her usual candid and heartfelt way, once said, "I don't think you can actually have family without drama." And isn't that the truth? Every family has its moments of tension and discord, it's practically a universal experience. For the Winans, recent challenges have only amplified this reality, but it's also shown their incredible resilience. Their motto? Family is worth fighting for. You see, the Winans don't believe that having a family free of conflict is what defines strength. Oh no. They know better. For them, the real strength lies in how a family chooses to face those conflicts. They embrace the idea that disagreements and struggles aren't signs of weakness, they're opportunities to grow stronger together. As one family member put it, absence of conflict would make it impossible to grow. At the heart of the Winans family's strength lies one powerful and unwavering practice, prayer. For Dolores Winans, the matriarch of the family, prayer isn't just something you do when you're out of options. It's the foundation. It's the first thing, the middle thing, and the last thing. She often emphasizes that prayer isn't meant to be some formal, distant ritual, it's a direct conversation with God, a natural and heartfelt exchange. There's one story, in particular, that stands out. It was during a serious medical crisis when one family member fell gravely ill. Instead of panicking or retreating into silence, the family leaned into their faith like never before. "We began to fight for him, and the way we fought for him was we started repenting to one another," one family member recalls. Such humility and strength it takes to not only pray for someone but also look inward and ask for forgiveness from each other in the process. That's next-level connection. But the Winans family doesn't just keep their strength and faith within their own circle. They are deeply invested in giving back to their community. Over the years, they've partnered with countless organizations to provide resources and support to those in need. It's like their family mission extends far beyond themselves. They want to uplift everyone they can. And when life throws challenges their way, that same community often shows up to support them in return. In one particularly tough season, the family shared their gratitude with a heartfelt message. The Winans family wishes to thank everyone for their prayers and continued support. One of their key focuses in community outreach is helping others build stronger emotional and spiritual connections. CeCe, for example, has talked openly about their efforts to encourage open conversations about emotional health. We're just going to talk about being sisters, we're going to talk about emotional health and how to get the best out of our relationships. 4. She shared during one of their initiatives. It's such a relatable sentiment, isn't it? Who hasn't wished for better communication or deeper understanding in their relationships? The Winans firmly believe that emotional health and spiritual health go hand in hand. They often stress the value of honest communication, not just with God, but with each other. If we would just be more honest about how we're feeling emotionally, that would take away a lot of the stigma, they've observed. And really, doesn't that ring true? So much healing could happen if we all just had the courage to say how we truly feel. Through their journey, the Winans have created a blueprint for others that shows how faith, love, and mutual respect can help families not just survive but thrive. CeCe and Marvin Winans have stood side by side for years, inspiring millions with their music and their faith. But even this strong sibling bond was tested recently when CeCe made a decision so difficult, it brought Marvin to tears. What could have happened to cause such an emotional moment? Was it a family matter, a career move, or something even more personal? You won't want to miss this incredible story of faith, family, and forgiveness as I reveal the truth behind CeCe's heartbreaking choice. CeCe Winans took an extraordinary leap of faith when she chose to step away from her 57-year-old musical roots to co-found Nashville Life Church with her husband. It was a decision that not only reshaped her career but also redefined her family's legacy in ways no one could have predicted. This shift created ripples through her family dynamics. CeCe found herself embracing the dual roles of wife, mother, and pastor. The balancing act wasn't easy, and she openly admitted to feeling the weight of it all. "I'm so focused on being a pastor with my husband, that it's like, oh wow. Now I'm an artist again, how do I do this?" she once said, reflecting on the delicate dance between ministry and her musical identity. It wasn't just her life that changed, her decision had a profound impact on those closest to her, especially her brother, Marvin. The two had spent countless years performing together, sharing stages and moments that cemented their bond as siblings and collaborators. Now, with CeCe taking a 5-year hiatus from recording, it was as though a piece of their shared rhythm was missing. How could they not need time to adjust? Her new role as a pastor required her complete attention, and Nashville Life Church, a non-denominational community, became her priority. "So that took all of my time, all of my heart, all of my mind to focus on," she explained, laying bare the sacrifices she had to make. It wasn't just about saying goodbye to music temporarily, it was about reshaping her entire professional life. Imagine the tug-of-war between two loves, music and ministry. That's exactly where CeCe found herself. It was only through her son, Alvin Love III, that she was slowly nudged back toward music. His determination and belief in her talent reignited her creative spark, leading to a collaboration that blended her pastoral calling with her musical gifts. But let's not romanticize it, it wasn't a smooth journey. The challenges were real and relentless. How does one juggle pastoral duties with recording sessions? How do church responsibilities coexist with a grueling touring schedule? And let's not forget the emotional weight of weaving ministry messages into music while adapting to an ever-changing industry. CeCe tackled it all with unwavering faith, proving that grace and grit could coexist. Of course, not everyone was immediately on board with her decision. Public opinion was divided, as people struggled to reconcile the CeCe they knew, the iconic gospel artist, with her new identity as a pastor. But over time, her authenticity won hearts. "If God has called you to do something, He will give you the tools to do it," she shared, offering a glimpse into the source of her strength. Whether she was leading worship on stage or counseling a church member in need, CeCe remained true to her core values. The thing that works for me, and the thing that works for everybody, to me, is, you've got to keep your relationship with the Lord Jesus first, she said, emphasizing the importance of keeping faith at the center of everything. Her story became an inspiration, not just for her congregation, but for other gospel artists grappling with similar crossroads in their lives. Nashville Life Church flourished under her leadership, and her music continued to touch 40 lives, proving that it was possible to honor two callings without compromising either. Because it's out of that relationship that everything else flows, she often said, a sentiment that became her guiding principle. CeCe Winans' journey. CeCe Winans, the queen of gospel music, is one of those people who seems to have it all figured out, right? Decades of success, countless awards, and a voice that feels like a direct line to heaven. But behind all that glamour and glory lies a story of tough decisions, unwavering faith, and a commitment to staying true to herself, no matter what. Doesn't it make you wonder how someone can juggle all that and still stay grounded? Well, CeCe's journey is proof that it's not always smooth sailing, even for someone as accomplished as she is. Take 2008, for instance. That year, CeCe faced a personal struggle that completely shifted how she looked at life and ministry. It all started with what seemed like a minor health issue. Just a quick visit to the doctor for flu-like symptoms, nothing serious, or so she thought. But it turned out to be much bigger than she could have imagined. Doctors discovered a stomach infection that required emergency surgery, and just like that, CeCe's life came to a screeching halt. They told her she'd need 7 whole weeks to recover, which meant pushing back the second half of her throne room tour. Can you imagine? One moment, you're planning your next big performance, and the next, you're lying in a hospital bed, forced to reevaluate everything. CeCe later reflected on that time and said something so simple yet so profound: sometimes the Lord knows how to slow us down. Those weeks weren't just about healing her body, they were about healing her perspective. She had the chance to pause and really think about what mattered most to her, her faith, her family, her calling. It wasn't just a health scare, it was a spiritual wake-up call. Professionally, CeCe's resume is nothing short of legendary. With 15 Grammy Awards, 22 Dove Awards, and 15 Stellar Awards, she's a giant in gospel music. And that's not even counting her crossover success. Remember her duet with Whitney Houston, Count on Me? That song didn't just stay within the gospel bubble, it was a top 10 hit on multiple charts. Opportunities like that could have easily pushed her to chase even more mainstream fame. But CeCe isn't just any artist. She's someone who constantly asks herself, what does God want me to do? In fact, that question led her to make one of the boldest decisions of her career. At the height of her success, CeCe decided to press pause on her music career. Yes, pause. She stepped back to focus on ministry work alongside her husband. 8 whole years. Think about that. How many artists would willingly leave the spotlight at their peak? But for CeCe, it wasn't about chart-topping hits or staying relevant. It was about answering a higher calling. She put CeCe Winans the singer on hold to prioritize CeCe Winans the servant of God. So, what can we learn from CeCe's journey? That success isn't just about chasing every opportunity or saying yes to everything. Sometimes it's about knowing when to pause, when to say no, and when to let your faith guide you, even if it seems counterintuitive. With this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. To enjoy more thrilling stories, click now on the following video that pops up on your screen. 40